Every year, millions of viewers across the globe tune into one of the world's most flamboyant, unpredictable, and politically charged musical events, the Eurovision Song Contest. For some, it's a celebration of music and spectacle. For others, it's a strange cultural phenomenon of kitsch and diplomacy. But beyond the sequins, wind machines, and soaring ballads, Eurovision offers a unique window into the history, identity, and tensions of modern Europe. From its Cold War origins to its role in symbolizing unity, conflict, and cultural shifts, Eurovision tells a fascinating story of what it means to be European. The origins, post-war unity through music. Eurovision was born in 1956, in a Europe still recovering from the devastation of World War II. Inspired by Italy's Sanremo Music Festival, the contest was created by the European Broadcasting Union (EBU) as a way to bring the continent together through live televised entertainment. At the time, Europe was divided by ideology. The Cold War had created an East-West rift, and yet Eurovision aimed to transcend borders through the shared language of song. The idea was simple. Countries would submit original songs performed live on television, and a panel, later the public, would vote for the winner. The first contest, held in Lugano, Switzerland, featured just 7 countries. Over the decades, the number of participants would grow, eventually including nations outside the strict borders of Europe like Israel, Australia, and Azerbaijan. A mirror of political and cultural shifts. Eurovision has always been more than just a music competition. It reflects the shifting political, cultural, and social landscape of Europe. The Cold War era. Although Eastern Bloc countries didn't participate during the early Cold War years, the competition was watched with curiosity, and occasionally suspicion. Western Europe used Eurovision to project unity, prosperity, and modernity. The fall of the Iron Curtain. After the collapse of the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia in the early 1990s, many Eastern European nations joined Eurovision as a symbolic act of integration into the European family. Countries like Estonia, Latvia, and Ukraine used the contest to assert their cultural identity and distance themselves from their Soviet past. National identity and soft power. Winning Eurovision became a matter of national pride. Countries saw it as a chance to promote their culture and modern image on a global stage. Ireland, for example, dominated the 1990s, while Sweden used slick pop performances to project its global music influence. Eurovision as political theater. Despite official rules banning overtly political content, Eurovision has always been deeply political. Voting patterns. Countries often vote for their neighbors or historical allies, creating well-known blocs like the Nordic Alliance, the Balkan Bloc, and the former Soviet network. This has led to accusations of bias and tactical voting. Protests and messages. Over the years, entries have included thinly veiled political statements. Ukraine's Jamala won in 2016 with a song about the Soviet deportation of Crimean Tatars, a move seen as a direct critique of Russia following the 2014 annexation of Crimea. Controversies and boycotts. Russia's strained relations with countries like Georgia and Ukraine have led to boycotts and walkouts. In 2022, following its invasion of Ukraine, Russia was banned from participating. Ukraine went on to win that year's contest in a symbolic show of European solidarity. Diversity, LGBTQ+ visibility, and progressive values. Eurovision has also become a powerful platform for promoting diversity, inclusion, and LGBTQ+ rights, often in stark contrast to political realities in some participant countries. From Dana International, Israel, 1998, the first openly transgender winner, to Conchita Wurst, Austria, 2014, a bearded drag queen who became a symbol of tolerance and freedom, Eurovision has long championed queer visibility. The contest's campy style and nonconformity have made it a beloved event for LGBTQ+ communities, particularly in countries where rights are under threat. This cultural visibility has challenged traditional values and brought progressive issues into mainstream European living rooms. Pop culture and global reach. Though rooted in European ideals, Eurovision's impact has gone global. Artists like ABBA, Sweden, 1974, and Celine Dion, Switzerland, 1988, launched international careers from the Eurovision stage. The inclusion of Australia in 2015 symbolized the contest's international popularity. Eurovision has inspired parodies, Netflix films, Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, and spin-offs including the American Song Contest. Despite criticism of cheesy songs and extravagant theatrics, Eurovision has proven itself to be a cultural force that combines light entertainment with deep meaning. What Eurovision tells us about Europe. Eurovision is not just a song contest. It's a lens through which we can examine European identity and what it means to be part of the continent. The aspirations of smaller nations seeking recognition. The challenges of unity amid political division. The values Europe champions: openness, creativity, and freedom of expression. It's a microcosm of the continent, diverse, sometimes chaotic, often contradictory, and yet bound by a shared desire to be heard and seen. Conclusion: more than glitter and high notes. Eurovision is often dismissed as a pop spectacle filled with camp and novelty. But beneath the surface lies a rich history of political statements, cultural pride, and continental transformation. As Europe continues to evolve, facing questions of identity, inclusion, and unity, Eurovision remains a stage where the continent sings not just for points, but for meaning. It tells us that Europe is not one voice but a chorus, sometimes dissonant, often harmonious, always in motion. And once a year that chorus takes center stage for all the world to hear.